Through your eyes There we go, guys. Hi, welcome. It's been some issues now here and there. I need to fix a few things, and then we can go. It's cool and all, but it's just too long. I think I should be able to add how many milliseconds in 1 second? It's 100, right? So 5, 1, 2. So that should be working now. I'm gonna try to jump into. That was a half second. There we go. Now I'm going to try to do the intro again, just to see if it works. It starts immediately! Stop! And I can't edit it, because it's so fucking slow. What about that? It starts immediately. Immediately. This is so fucking annoying, guys. Like, you're changing this, the things and all the stuff, and no, it doesn't want to do it. I have nothing really on here that we can technically watch while I'm eating. I have some noodles here. That takes maybe like 5 minutes for me to eat. I have this. I guess we can watch this for 5 minutes. I've watched a bit already of it. It's a great video. He explains the MCU timeline from the beginning of the universe to like now in chronological order, which is amazing.
Armor known as War Machine. Through the use of the newly sprung Ivan Vanko, Hammer forms drones which he displays at Stark Expo. However, Vanko takes remote control of this and uses it to attack Tony Stark, who had just then managed to fix the problem with his arc reactor. Together with War Machine, Iron Man puts the threat to bed, kills Vanko, and sends Hammer to prison. Iron Man is then officially recruited by S.H.I.E.L.D. as an Avenger, with Stark himself serving as liaison. After this, the events of the Incredible Hulk take place. Bruce Banner, attempting to recreate the Super Soldier Serum, ends up transforming himself into a raging monster known as the Hulk. He goes on the run, being chased by the US military. British Special Ops agent Emil Blonsky is sent to track Banner and faces him twice. Blonsky becomes obsessive and takes in Banner's blood and becomes the monster known as the Abomination. Abomination attacks Harlem in an attempt to lure out Banner, which results in a battle between the two. Blonsky is defeated and captured. After this, Blonsky is taken to a cryo cell in Alaska where he is held. For a while, Ross considered adding Blonsky to the Avengers due to him being a decorated war hero. However, Phil Coulson, Jasper Sitwell, and Tony Stark disagreed with it due to his unpredictable nature, and Bruce Banner was considered for the position instead. After the events of the movie, Stark makes contact with Banner.
Let me guess, Ross hated that. Because Ross basically hates the Hulk. I know this because I've watched the Hulk. And it is MCU, like it is MCU. The Hulk is an MCU movie, which a lot of people don't really think about. Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna watch all the MCU movies. Are you watching the Hulk? No, then you're not watching the MCU, the entirety. Because technically, the Incredible Hulk is actually MCU, and it's actually connected. It changed actors, which is why it doesn't feel like it is connected. It's kind of like the same feeling you get with Andrew Garfield and like MCU before he was in the MCU. Like that's not the same Spider-Man. You know, that's not the Spider-Man we have. Although it is technically the same Hulk, it's just that it's another actor. You know, you kind of get that feeling like it's not really in the MCU in that way. It's not the same. This is spicy, by the way.
Banner. In the same
Like a
year,
lot.
the Asgardian prince, Thor Odinson, is being groomed to become the next king of Asgard, but Loki ruins it by inviting the frost giants to the party. Thor is upset, and so he goes to Jotunheim to confront them and nearly starts a war. Due to this, Odin exiles Thor to Midgard. There, he is struck by the van of Jane Foster and hospitalized. He is eventually released and goes on a quest to reclaim his hammer, Mjolnir, which is under Shield's watch. Clint Hawkeye Barton is ready to kill Thor, but Coulson stops him. Thor fails to pull the hammer and turns depressed. He accepts his place on Earth and slowly becomes happy. However, at the time, Odin has fallen into the Odin sleep, and so Loki invites Lothian to kill him, but betrays Lothian in an effort to make himself look heroic and take the throne for himself. He also sends the Destroyer armor to ensure Thor never comes home. But Thor suddenly becomes worthy again through humbleness and love, and manages to reclaim his hammer and destroys the Destroyer. He then travels back to Asgard to stop Loki, who plans to use the Bifrost to destroy Jotunheim, but is stopped when Thor destroys the bridge. Loki and Thor are hanging off the bridge when Odin appears to save them. Loki screams out that he did it for his father, but Odin tells him no. Loki then attempts to commit suicide, but instead ends up being found by Thanos. Thor then laments that he can't return to Jane. 2012 AD. Steve Rogers is found by S.H.I.E.L.D. in the Arctic. He is recruited to the Avengers. Loki appears at a hidden base to reclaim the Tesseract and initiates a meltdown which is barely escaped by S.H.I.E.L.D.'s staff. They then call in the Avengers, starting with Bruce Banner, who Natasha Romanoff is sent to recruit due to his expertise in gamma radiation, which the Tesseract puts off. Loki ends up in Germany, where he attempts to get more items required to build a portal to allow Thanos' Chitauri army to make it to Earth. Loki ends up making an ass of himself in front of everyone, and Captain America likens him to a Hitler he had punched on several occasions. Iron Man also appears, and the two battle Loki and capture him. However, he is sprung by Thor. Thor, Captain America, and Iron Man would fight, but in the end, they reach a consensus and the three make their way to the helicarrier. However, Hawkeye and his forces break Loki out.
This is ridiculous. It's not even spicy. What is this? It's not even spicy, dude. Like, come on. Extra spicy. Yeah, no shit. This is like nothing. And by the way, for me, like, the strongest Tabasco is like ketchup to me, so.
And Loki kills Phil Coulson.
It's nothing.
The Avengers rally and head to New York, where they face off against Loki and his army. However, they manage to destroy the invading army with a nuclear warhead and close the portal. Also, the Avengers secretly come back in time to get the Tesseract at this point in time. However, they fail and lose it to Loki, causing a branch in the timeline which the Time Variance Authority don't really take a liking to. Also, Captain America fights himself, which is all levels of paradoxical. Still cool, though. And we get a nice nod to the Secret Empire comic book when Captain America gets Loki's scepter, aka the Mind Stone, from Rumlow and Sitwell by uttering Hail Hydra. He later returns with the Mind Stone to replace it where it should have been. Shawarma time! Later that year, the events of Iron Man 3 happen. Stark deals with post-traumatic stress from the Battle of New York. He feels like something greater will happen and he will fail the Avengers, being the only one to survive as the end takes place around him. He can't sleep, so he works on his armors. That's when the US airwaves are hijacked by the Ten Rings. A man who claims to be the Mandarin begins to speak, declaring that he will teach America another lesson. Tony begins to investigate this when his valet, Happy Hogan, is mortally wounded. He issues a challenge to the Mandarin, which results in his home being destroyed by a helicopter attack. Tony manages to escape, though. He's in hiding and still investigating. He discovers that Advanced Idea Mechanics, AIM for short, the company owned by Aldrich Killian, is behind the attacks, and that the terrorist attacks are not terrorism, but misfires when people utilizing extremists go too hot and explode. He uses this information and attempts to stop him, but ends up captured. Meanwhile, the president is captured by Killian's forces, who plan to kill him on live television as an attack by the Ten Rings. However, this was merely to get the vice president in his pocket, who would inherit the presidency out from under the president. However, Stark shows up with his army of suits and begins to fight. He manages to kill Killian and save the president with the help of Rhodey, who is using the newly christened Iron Patriot armor. Tony then proceeds to use a new surgery to remove the shrapnel from his body and remove the arc reactor as well. 2013 AD. It is after the Iron Man movie that most of the first season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. takes place. In the span between 2012 and 2013, Phil Coulson is brought back to life using a Kree corpse with which the blood is used to synthesize a drug that increases regeneration and was used to revive the agent. They spend most of their time hunting the mysterious clairvoyant, not yet knowing the danger they're in. As this happens, the Nine Realms are in a state of war, and Thor is trying to restore peace, all while Loki is brought before Odin for judgment. While all this is going on, Rocket Raccoon and Fat Thor appear to take the ether from Jane Foster, as well
Fat
as
Thor.
Mjolnir. Captain America later arrives and returns both items to their rightful places.
Kinda lucky though that Captain America could wield Mjolnir. Because if he couldn't retrieve it, return it.
Loki is placed in prison for the rest of his life. Jane Foster eventually comes into contact with the ether and ends up poisoned by it. She's taken to Asgard to be healed, but they can't do it. The Dark Elves then attack Asgard and kill Queen Frigga. Thor and Jane witness the funeral for the dead Asgardians and then set off on a quest to find the Dark World. In doing so, they manage to cure Jane, but give Malekith exactly what he wants. Loki seemingly dies in this battle, but it's not true. Malekith sets up shop in Greenwich, England, the center of the Convergence, and there he attempts to turn out the lights on a universal scale, but Thor appears and hammers him. The Aether is then delivered to the Collector to protect it, as it is too dangerous to keep two Infinity Stones so close together. After the events of the Convergence...
But doesn't he already have one?
Coulson's team investigates it and encounters Elliot Randolph, and manages to stop a group of pagans from using Asgardian tech to become overly powerful. Coulson then follows the trails in an attempt to find the true clairvoyant, and they suddenly receive an ominous transmission. Out of the darkness and into the light, hail Hydra. This leads us into the events of Captain America the Winter Soldier. Cap is on a mission to save S.H.I.E.L.D. personnel from an oil tanker, which is secretly a launch platform for a secret satellite meant to aid the new Project Insight. However, Nick Fury is nearly assassinated by a legendary soldier known as the Winter Soldier. It is revealed that the Winter Soldier was a weapon used to alter the world's systems, and there was more than one. Hydra had multiple Winter Soldiers created. Fury makes his way to Steve's apartment and delivers a thumb drive that contains all the info he'll need to solve this mystery. Fury then fakes his own death. It's revealed that the Secretary of the World Security Council, Alexander Pierce, was a member of Hydra. It's also revealed that Council member Gideon Malik was also a Hydra member as well. They plan to use Project Insight to simultaneously assassinate everyone in the world who will oppose their rule. However, with the help of Steve Rogers, Sam Falcon Wilson, and Natasha Romanoff, they manage to not only stop Insight, but bring down S.H.I.E.L.D. and by extension, most of Hydra. At around the same time, the Guardians of the Galaxy story begins when Peter Quill takes a job meant to be Yondu's and locates an ancient artifact known as the Orb. Of course, Nebula and War Machine show up from the future to take it first. It is returned to Morag later on by Captain America. In this alternate timeline, Thanos also travels to the future after discovering the truth through future Nebula. Anyway, back to original timeline Peter. He heads to Xandar to deliver the object to the broker, but upon learning that Peter stole the object from Ronan the Accuser's forces, he refuses to do business with Peter. On top of that, Thanos, who is Ronan's benefactor, sends his daughter Gamora after Peter to take the orb. Yondu also puts a bounty out on Peter's head, which Rocket Raccoon and Groot take. However, they all cause a disturbance which ends up with them being placed in prison in the kiln. Here, they meet a man with a grudge named Drax the Destroyer, who wishes to kill Gamora, but is convinced not to by Star-Lord, who tells him that it is really Ronan he wants. The group set aside their differences to sell off the orb to the Collector. They manage to escape the kiln before Ronan's forces take over the prison. They make it to nowhere, where they attempt to sell the orb to the Collector, who explains to them that it is an infinity stone and an object used in the past by many, but only capable of being truly wielded by a celestial or a being of incredible strength. However, Drax forces a message to be sent to Ronan the Accuser. Ronan appears and Drax fails to kill him. This leads to both Star-Lord and Gamora being captured by Ravagers. They prepare to execute them as the captain's gotta teach stuff. However, they wiggle their way out of it and offer to get the orb back to Yondu. And so Yondu spares Peter for the time being, and they head to Xandar where they plan to help the Nova Corps stop Ronan from killing them. This leads to a battle between the allied Ravager Nova forces and Ronan's Sakaran forces. They manage to bring Ronan's warship down, but this costs Groot his life. Ronan manages to survive, but
We
is protected by
are Groot.
Star-Lord, who challenges him to a dance-off. This gives Rocket enough time to get a cannon up and running. Rocket destroys the hammer with which Ronan is utilizing the Power Stone, and Peter catches it barehanded. For a moment, he witnesses the other side, but is stabilized by sharing the power between all of the Guardians of the Galaxy, along with his celestial DNA. Together, they use the power to destroy Ronan. They are hailed as heroes, double-cross Yondu again, and have the Milano replaced by the Xandarians, who also wipe their criminal records as thanks. The Guardians go on to become bounty hunters, one of their next missions involving protecting the Sovereign's batteries from a monster that attempts to devour them. They succeed, but Rocket steals the batteries. The Sovereigns only catch on later, and they hire Yondu's crew, who have been freshly cut out of the Ravagers by Sylvester Stallone, Star Ogord. It isn't long after, though, that Taserface forces a mutiny. However, Yondu escapes and single-handedly eradicates his mutinous crew, escaping on a small vessel. Elsewhere, Peter Quill is contacted by his father, Ego, who invites him to his planet, or body, I guess. They get there, and Ego begins to explain things to him. Gamora doesn't like this, but Peter doesn't accept her feelings and begins to believe it is best to stay with him. That is, until Ego reveals that it was he who had intentionally caused Peter's mother to die. This causes Peter to attack Ego. However, Ego decides instead to use Peter as a battery to continue his expansion and bring it to fruition. Peter is saved by his friends, though, and they proceed to the planet's core where Rocket places a bomb that destroys Ego's brain and kills him. The entire planet begins to collapse. Yondu sacrifices himself to save Peter, which earns him being buried with full Ravager honors. Well, not buried. Space-dusted. I miss Yondu. 2015 AD. The Avengers are now focusing on finishing off Hydra when they end up encountering the Maximoff twins, who seek vengeance against Tony Stark for his weapons which killed their parents. However, they back off, and Baron Strucker is captured. The Avengers manage to take Loki's scepter back, and both Bruce and Tony discover that they can use it to finish their AI project, Ultron. They keep attempting to do so with what limited time they have with the scepter, but nothing seems to work. Ultron is created with the sole directive to protect humanity no matter what. Then Jarvis makes the mistake of letting Ultron look at Twitter, and suddenly Ultron believes that humanity should perish instead. Robot James Spader then marches into the living room and declares all of the Avengers as killers, and in an attempt to prove him wrong, they hit him with a hammer. The Avengers aren't very happy with Tony and Bruce, and Ultron ends up recruiting Wanda and Pietro Maximoff to his side. And together they begin to look to head for Africa to search for vibranium. This leads them to Ulysses Clow, who Ultron accidentally cuts the hand off of. The Avengers but Wanda Maximoff hypnotizes Bruce Banner and causes him to Hulk out. Iron Man dons his Hulkbuster armor to face Banner, but it hardly works. Only after dropping a skyscraper on him. The Avengers decide to lay
Or him on a
at
skyscraper.
Hawkeye's house. Ultron attempts to use vibranium and the Mind Stone to create his next iteration, a biological android that he names Vision. However, this is interrupted by the Avengers, who steal Ultron's vision. However, instead of destroying it, Tony takes it into his own hands to complete it using Jarvis as a template. They fight this, but the vision is completed and awakens. He ends up a new Avenger. Tony isn't always wrong. Ultron heads to the Maximoff's home of Sokovia, where he turns the entire freaking city into a weapon and attempts to end the entire planet. The Avengers manage to stop this, however, and Vision manages to kill Ultron by turning off the Wi-Fi. Really cool. After this comes the Ant-Man movies events. Scott Lang is a prisoner on parole. He accidentally ends up stealing technology from Hank Pym. He is then recruited by Hank to destroy the Yellow Jacket suit due to how Darren Cross had betrayed him and continued to work on and replicate the Pym particle. Lang is sent to an old storage house where he hopes to find the Yellow Jacket suit, but to his horror, it is an Avengers compound now. This leads to Lang facing off against Falcon and disabling his suit. He ends up going to PIM Technologies to steal the Yellow Jacket suit, but Darren Cross is using it. The two fight, and it ends up taking them to Scott's daughter's house. The only hope Scott feels that he can defeat Darren is to go subatomic and fit between the armor plating and destroy the regulator. This succeeds and kills Darren, but it results in Scott being lost in the quantum realm. However, Scott manages to escape it, which Hank said should be impossible. 2016 AD. In the next movie, Captain America Civil War, or as it should be known, Avengers 2.5 Family Issues. In this movie, Captain America is tracking Brock Rumlow, aka Crossbones, a Hydra agent, who is attempting to steal a biological weapon from Nigeria. He ends up trying to commit suicide with a bomb vest, but Wanda Maximoff attempts to stop him by putting him in the air away from people. Sadly, she gets him too close to a building, which results in the death of many people, including Wakanda relief workers. This causes the United Nations to think twice about allowing the Avengers to do as they please, and they form the Sokovia Accords to regulate the way the Avengers work. But Captain America doesn't like that and becomes a fugitive. This fractures the Avengers in two and leads to Captain America and Iron Man fighting. It evolves further when Bucky gets involved and becomes a "I thought we were besties" issue. Iron Man wishes to get revenge on Bucky for killing Howard Stark, but Bucky is like, lol, nah. And Cap agrees with Bucky. In the end, Iron Man is beaten and Bucky is saved. But Cap gives Iron Man a consolation prize in the form of a cell phone with his telephone number on it. Immediately after this is the events of the Black Widow movie. Natasha Romanoff is located by Thunderbolt Ross and he chases her down. Meanwhile, another of the widows, Yelena Belova, who had been undercover with Natasha in America from 1993 to 1995, is freed from her mind control by another widow using a special chemical. She makes a run for it and sends the chemical to Natasha. Natasha gets it, but is immediately attacked by Taskmaster for it. She barely escapes with it, as well as the chemical. She tracks down Yelena, and the two fight for a while before calling a truce and talking it out. They are then attacked by other widows.
Okay, this is gonna sound weird, but I think I've hurt my balls earlier tonight when I was sleeping.
The two
It kind of hurts and stings a bit.
flee. They end up breaking out Alexei Shostakov, aka the Red Guardian, the Soviet Union's answer to Captain America, from prison. They also track down Melina Vostokov, and together they decide to bring down the Red Room. However, Taskmaster appears to capture them. But Melina and Natasha switch places in an attempt to escape. Natasha confronts Dreykov, while Melina frees the others and brings the Red Room out of the sky. Natasha stops smelling things by smashing her face and attacks Dreykov, but it is revealed that Taskmaster is actually Dreykov's daughter, who Natasha thought she killed years earlier with Dreykov. Dreykov escapes, but is killed when his helicopter explodes. Natasha and Taskmaster fight, but Natasha wins when she frees her from mind control. She then commissions the rest of the widows to find their fellow spies and free them. Something I wish to say, though. While chronologically this movie comes before the Infinity War and Endgame, it was the latest movie of the bunch to feature actor William Hurt as Thunderbolt Ross. This movie was the
he
last
died.
in the MCU to feature William Hurt, as he sadly lost his battle to prostate cancer. Here's to you, William. We enjoyed your acting and your movies so much. Thanks for everything. Moving on to
10
the Black
years.
Panther movies, T'Challa returns to Wakanda to take his place as the
Since
king, but is
2018 Marvel.
challenged. He wins the ritual combat and claims his place as the king of Wakanda. After this, Ulysses Klaue attempts to steal a vibranium artifact from the Museum of Great Britain, but is stopped by T'Challa, who hands the thief over to the CIA. This doesn't last long, though, as Eric, a soldier who had taken the name Killmonger, kills Klaue and delivers his body to Wakanda. He then challenges T'Challa to ritual combat and beats him. However, T'Challa is given another heart-shaped herb and gets his powers back. He then goes back to challenge Killmonger, who is now wearing the Black Panther armor, and defeats him. He offers mercy to Killmonger, but Killmonger decides he would rather die than be incarcerated, and allows himself to die a free man. T'Challa then announces that Wakanda will no longer hide from the world. This was also one of the last movies done by Chadwick Boseman before he lost his private battle with cancer. The last movie in the line that he did was in Avengers Endgame. It's so sad because so many people are always losing their lives to cancer. Here's to hoping they find a cure for it very soon. And while it is sad that Chadwick Boseman is gone, we will always remember him for bringing us so much joy with his films. Thanks, Chadwick.
Wakanda forever.
Next up is the Spider-Man movie. The movie starts out when Peter Parker gets bitten by a radioactive spider and Uncle Ben gets killed by Flint Marko. Oh wait, That's the wrong Spider-Man. Let's
Yeah,
try
I
again.
thought so.
The story starts when Peter Parker gets bitten by a spider when at Oscorp. He eventually needs to face the Lizard, who wants to turn the entirety of New York.
Wrong Spider-Man.
This is also the wrong Spider-Man. Let's try one more time. The story starts when Peter Parker doesn't get bitten by a radioactive spider because we've seen that and Uncle Ben's death so much that we get the point. Peter Parker appeared in Civil War, but I forgot to mention him, so oh well. But after this, he's still in contact with Tony Stark, who continues to sponsor him as he had a hard time balancing school and superheroing. Meanwhile, Damage Control Agent Adrian Toombs is taking Chitauri weapons from the Battle of New York and selling them on the black market. He's making a lot of money with this and is even pioneering new technology with it as well. Spider-Man gets on his tail, but eventually this causes Pete to encounter Toombs using his vulture gear. In the end, Pete risks his life to save Toombs, which earns his respect as Toombs ends up in prison. After this comes Doctor Strange. But before we begin, let's also mention that Smart Hulk comes back in time from the future at some point and convinces the Ancient One to let him borrow the Time Stone. Steve Rogers then returns to this time to return it. Dr. Stephen Strange is a world-class surgeon who has a perfect record of healing people with surgeries. Of course, this is generally because he turns away those he doubts he can heal. So to say he's egotistical is an understatement. He reminds me of Tony Stark in that way. However, he's showing off in his car, being reckless, and ends up crashing. And when he does so, he damages his hands, severely damaging his nerve endings, which essentially guarantees the end of his career. Because of that, he begins to try everything he possibly can. When everything else fails, he goes into mysticism after a man who claims to have been paralyzed states that he can now walk after visiting a place called Kamar Taj in Nepal. So Strange goes to visit, but he ends up getting locked out when he insults the Ancient One. However, he begs long enough that they just feel so bad and let him in. They begin to teach him about the mystic arts, but he fails to read the warnings of the spells he casts, leading to him getting a scolding when he screws around with time through the use of the Eye of Agamotto. Eventually, he's led into battle against Caecilius and the others who have devoted themselves to Dormammu. In the end, they kill the Ancient One, and Doctor Strange continues to guard the Sanctum, though it is later destroyed, leading to the Dark Dimension's incursion into this dimension. This causes Dormammu to appear, but Doctor Strange manages to defeat him when he introduces the concept of
Dormammu was so fat he could fit an entire universe.
Dormammu's dimension and uses it to create a temporal loop. This forces Dormammu to be either trapped in an endless causal loop or give in, so Dormammu gives in. Doctor Strange is then named the new Sorcerer Supreme. 2017 AD. Thor has been trying to learn more about the Infinity Stones, but he has also been having dreams regarding Ragnarok, the event which marks the end of Asgard. To that end, he goes to Muspelheim to claim the crown of Surtur. He manages to do so, but when he returns to Asgard, he realizes that Odin isn't acting like Odin and realizes that it is Loki in disguise. They go to see Odin on Earth in the old folks' home Loki left him in, only to find that home being torn down. Loki is then captured by Doctor Strange, and a card is delivered to Thor asking him to visit the Sanctum Sanctorum. Thor does so, and Loki is returned to him. Doctor Strange sends them to where Odin is located. Odin has a nice heart-to-heart where he realizes that he was a sucky-ass father 3 ways to Sunday, and probably not the best king either. He then passes away by pulling a Master Yoda, and then Hela is free. Thor attempts to attack her, but his hammer is destroyed. In a panic, Loki calls for the Bifrost, but this allows Hela to reach Asgard. She forces Thor and Loki out, and they land on Sakaar. Thor ends up getting sent to the gladiatorial pits, and Loki manages to sweet-talk his way to the Grandmaster's side. Thor has his hair cut by Stan Lee, God rest that man's soul, and then ends up fighting the Hulk, where Thor technically wins, but Hulk officially wins due to Grandmaster's interference. Another day, another Doug. Thor wakes up in Hulk's chambers, where Hulk taunts him and makes fun of him, but to a point, they share experiences and identify with each other. Eventually, they are saved by Valkyrie. Thor tries to escape with the Quinjet that Hulk had with him, but Hulk ruins it when he doesn't want Thor to leave him. However, they accidentally activate a clip of Natasha telling Bruce to come back, and this causes Hulk to revert to a very terrified Bruce Banner, who is trying not to re-Hulk out. They end up finding Loki, starting a revolt, hijacking one of Grandmaster's ships, and escaping through the Devil's Anus. They reach Asgard, where Thor ends up going to the throne room, which calls Hela back. He confronts
Devil's
her
Anus.
to fight. Eventually, Hela cuts out Thor's right eye. When Thor is on the ropes, he sees a vision of Hannibal Lecter, Odin, not the god of hammers, and awakens Thor's potential, which allows him to channel lightning through his body to attack her. In the end, Thor puts Surtur's crown onto the eternal flame, which awakens him and gives him the strength to destroy Asgard. Yes, Thor initiates Ragnarok just to kill his sister. And it works. Tough for them, though. As they escape, their vessel is stopped by Thanos. 2018 AD. Sometime before this happens, Clint Barton and Natasha Romanoff appear from the future and claim the Soul Stone when Natasha sacrifices herself for it. Captain America later comes to return it to the Red Skull, which I would have paid to see, but was cheated out of it by the Russo brothers.
Fuck you.
While all of this is happening, the events of Ant-Man and the Wasp are occurring.
Captain America 4 through time. Captain America 5 through time. A TV show. Every stone is an episode. And then the last episode with him going to the Red Skull and they have a little fight and then they realize they're not supposed to fight and then boom. It could be a very fun drama show. Doesn't have to be any action, just have to be cool drama, good dialogue. Something like that. Would be fun to see.
Which sees Scott Lang and Hope Van Dyne attempting to find Janet Van Dyne, who is lost in the quantum realm. Along the way, they face off against the ghost, Ava Starr, a woman who is quantumly, is that even a word, unstable due to a failed experiment that killed both of her parents when she was little. They search for Janet and manage to find her, and once they bring her back, Janet gives some of her energy to Ava in hopes of curing her condition, which works. In the post-credits scene, Scott Lang is in the quantum realm doing some experiments when suddenly the line goes dead. Showing what is going on in the real world, we witness that there is now nobody around the machinery. Ooh, mysterious. We move into Infinity War, which picks up where Thor leaves off. Thanos has taken over the ship and seemingly killed everyone there except for Thor and Loki. He begins to torture Thor to get Loki to spill the beans on where the Tesseract is. Hulk suddenly attacks Thanos, but is saved when Heimdall opens the Bifrost to send Hulk to Earth. Loki then pledges loyalty to the Titan, only to then try and stab him, but Thanos grips his throat and snaps his neck. Thor is left to sob when the ship then explodes. Hulk crashes into the Sanctum Sanctorum. He then reveals to Doctor Strange and Tony Stark about Thanos, and how he was the hidden benefactor when Loki invaded New York with the Chitauri. They then suddenly get into a fight with the Black Order, who takes Doctor Strange and his Eye of Agamotto. Spider-Man and Iron Man end up on the Black Order's ship with Strange, and end up going where they were going. Thor is then picked up by the Guardians of the Galaxy. They prepare to fight Thanos by helping Thor create a Thanos killing weapon, which turns out to be Stormbreaker after they get that guy from Elf, Pixels, and Game of Thrones to make it for them. It's also partially made of Groot, so that's cool. The other half of the Guardians of the Galaxy decide to go to where the Collector is to get the Ether, which is the Reality Stone. They go there, but find that Thanos has already taken the stone. Gamora is then captured by Thanos and used as a sacrifice to get the Soul Stone. Back on Earth, the Black Order attacks Wanda and Vision, who are sort of a cute couple now, trying to steal Vision's Mind Stone. However, they are saved by Black Widow, Falcon, and Captain America. They retreat to the Avengers facility after defeating the Black Order. Back at the facility, the Avengers begin to contemplate a plan to deal with this. They realize that they may inevitably need to destroy the Mind Stone to stop Thanos, but they know they could possibly save Vision by having the stone removed with the technology available in Wakanda. Stark, Strange, and Parker manage to defeat Ebony Maw and take over the ship, but instead of returning to Earth, they continue on to Titan. Once they reach there, they are ambushed by the Guardians of the Galaxy. They eventually make friends, though, and attempt to work together to beat Thanos. And to their
Why is
credit,
Gamora?
they really do it through brains over brawn methods. But when Thanos provokes Peter, the Quill one, not Parker, by telling him that he killed Gamora, Star-Lord, see I didn't make the mistake again, attacks Thanos, waking him from Doctor Strange's sleep spell. This causes Thanos to gain the upper hand and take the
Doctor
Time Stone from
Strange?
him, leaving the Guardians +3 on Titan alone as he goes to face off in Wakanda against the remaining Avengers. Back in Wakanda, the battle is set in array as Shuri quickly attempts to remove the stone from Vision's head. Sadly, this doesn't work, and Vision is forced into battle as well. Wanda, with tears in her eyes, musters the will to destroy the stone, killing Vision as well. However, Thanos uses the Time Stone to reverse time and take the stone manually, marking Vision as the only Avenger to die twice in the same movie. Poor Wanda, she got to watch her man die not once, but 2 times. No wonder she goes coconuts and commandeers a whole town to LARP her dream life. Thanos takes the last Infinity Stone and proceeds to snap. becoming the ultimate thrifter by getting the entirety of civilization half off. Then the movie ends on a sad note. However, before the year ends, everyone continues to search for a way to fix what was wronged. Stark and Nebula return to Earth with the help of Carol Danvers. They eventually detect another snap on a distant planet and travel there to find Thanos undefended. They try to take the stones from him to undo the damage, but it is revealed that the stones were destroyed. Thor then kills Thanos for the hell of it. 2023 AD. 5 years have passed since the snap. Everyone is trying to cope with the fact that everything sucks now. You know what doesn't suck? The fact that Tony Stark finally marries Pepper Potts and has a baby with her. That's awesome, but don't expect it to last long. Then suddenly a rat saves the universe by bringing Scott Lang back from the quantum realm. With his expertise, he helps them find a way to go back in time to find a way to stop Thanos. This is actually the time heist, and if you've been paying attention, you'll realize we've already covered this. They return to the future, except Black Widow, cause she dead, and have Hulk snap everyone back into existence. It isn't long, though, until alternate past Thanos arrives and does his "You've come back to me" speech that is so memed out, and they all fight a massive battle. Thanos' forces are crippled by Captain Marvel, who probably could have done all this by herself. Thanos attempts to use the stones to end existence so he can begin a new one that is grateful for what he did. Honestly, I don't see how any of this makes a difference. In like 20 years, the universe will be back to the same issue, that is, if we survive it. Many species would go extinct from the imbalance in the natural order. Either way, Thanos' plan was stupid and he was a terrible villain not to see that. Anyway, Tony says, "I am Iron Man," snaps his finger, and makes me the saddest guy to watch the movie with an Iron Man t-shirt and previewing shaved Stark. I was such a devastated fanboy. Probably cried a little. Don't you dare judge. We then see the funeral.
I don't
then after
judge.
that, the heartbreaking "Love You 3000"
I cry when
scene, and they send Cap back, and
Black
he
Widow
doesn't come
died.
back as they expect. My question is how he came back at all, considering, I mean seriously, I thought the point was that timelines don't cross over, which is why they couldn't just kill baby Thanos. And yet Cap just ages back to the present after going back in time. I'm not a physicist, but I suppose the Russos and Kevin Feige aren't either. I would love to know what kind of answer they have for this, because while this scene has the warm and fuzzies, it basically makes the entire plot of the movie null and void if Cap really did just re-age back to the present. The events of WandaVision then take place. Wanda kinda loses her coconuts, and so she proceeds to cast a hex around the town of Westview, altering reality to the point where everything and everyone is set up like an old sitcom moving up through the ages. Agatha also shows up here and reintroduces the Darkhold, which Wanda takes after defeating her and sentencing her to a life of sitcom. 2024 AD. Falcon and the Winter Soldier. The story centers around Sam Wilson and Bucky Barnes after Endgame. The US government has decided to pass the mantle of Captain America off to John Walker, who, along with the help of his sidekick, Battlestar, attempts to investigate the anti-nationalist group, the Flag Smashers. Along the way, they discover that all of the Flag Smashers are enhanced with the Super Soldier Serum and learn that it is being reproduced. To help with this, Bucky and Sam spring Baron Zemo from the Clink to get his help with the serum and learn more about it. They track down the scientist who made it, and Zemo kills him and begins to destroy the vials of serum. However, John Walker stops him from destroying the last vial and takes it himself. They continue to confront Thor's group until, in a rage, he kills one of the anti-nationalists. This causes John Walker to lose his rank and mantle as Captain America, and he is stripped of the shield by Bucky and Sam. They then head to the GRC to stop an attack and manage to do so with Sharon Carter's help. In the end, though, it is discovered that the Flag Smashers were upset because the GRC were going to relocate people displaced by the blip. That is such a terrible name for the event. And so Sam decides to convince them through peaceful manners not to do so, and to instead aid them directly. After this is Shang-Chi and the Ten Rings. I already detailed a good bit of Shang-Chi's biography during the earlier section about the Mandarin, so I'll just continue on. Shang-Chi, or just Sean as his friends know him, is just a regular dude when all of a sudden a guy with a big razor blade for an arm tries to take his necklace. The guy succeeds, but Sean saves the people of the bus. Fearing for his sister, he heads to Macau where he finds his sister, Xu Xialing, runs an underground fight club. Now, funny enough, a scene here actually crosses over with She-Hulk, as we witness Blonsky in his abomination form facing off against Wong, and we later learn in She-Hulk that this event is detrimental to Blonsky's parole hearing, but Wong clears it up later. They are then attacked by Ten Rings Ninja, because it wouldn't be an awesome kung fu action adventure without them. They end up surrounded though, and the Mandarin walks in and embraces his children, taking them back to their compound where he explains Tola to them. However, upon hearing that their father plans to raise the village if they don't resurrect Ying Li, his children turn against him and he is put in prison. There, they find Travor Slattery, who played the Mandarin in Iron Man 3, locked up for impersonating him. However, he wasn't executed because he's a funny guy, so Xu Xiaoling insists that he is basically the Mandarin's court jester now. They manage to escape and beat their father to Tula, where they learn of the Dweller in the Darkness beyond the gate. They prepare for war, and war comes. Shang-Chi engages his father in battle, but fails to stop him from breaching the gate. However, Xu Wenwu sacrifices himself to save Shang-Chi after realizing he was right, and gifts him the 10 rings. Shang-Chi takes it, and with the helo of the Great Guardian Dragon, manages to kill the Dweller in the Darkness. Wong then recruits them to talk about what the 10 rings are, and after that, they all go out to karaoke and sing Hotel California. Wong is becoming my favorite character. After this is the events of the Eternals. At this point, everything is A-OK. That is, until a sudden worldwide earthquake occurs. This causes some ice to melt in Alaska, revealing that some deviants still exist. Icarus reveals that he will not betray Arishem like Ajax wants to, and he allows her to be killed by the deviants. He then heads to London to save Cersei and Sprite. They then head out to find Ajax, though Icarus knows he already killed her, and find her dead. They seek out Kingo.
He's gonna call him Rob Stark
as well as Gilgamesh,
one time.
Other best character in the movie, who feeds them spit beer and takes care of Thena, who has gone bananas because she is so old. They go to find Druig, who has started a cult, and inform him not only of Ajax's death, but also that all Eternals are biological robots, and that Arishem destroys most sentient planets, and that Earth is seeded with the yet-to-be-born Celestial named Tiamat the Communicator. The Deviants attack the Eternals, and the one that killed and absorbed Ajax's powers, because I can't remember his name, I'm just going to call him Perfect Cell since it's the same concept, kills Gilgamesh and takes his powers too. Thena vows to kill him. The Eternals then recruit Phastos, who seems rather content not helping them, and they all travel to Babylon where their ship is waiting. They plan to make a big machine to create a Unimind that allows Druig to put Tiamat back to sleep. But Icarus and Sprite turn coat and reveal their allegiance remains with Arishem. They fight, but in the end, both are defeated and Tiamat is transmuted into stone, Full Metal Alchemist style with his head half sticking out. The movie ends when Arishem appears before the Earth and takes the Eternals remaining on the planet and says he will search their memories to decide if Earth is worth saving before passing his judgment. After this movie is Spider-Man Far From Home, in which Peter is just being Peter and all of a sudden, boom, multiversal collision. Or so it seems. He helps a guy named Mysterio fight against these elemental monsters, but it is revealed that he simply wanted to steal Stark tech and begins to use it to attack Peter. In the end, Mysterio is killed, but before he dies, he edits the footage of his death and leaks it to the Daily Bugle, making Spider-Man a killer and revealing Spider-Man to be Peter Parker. This movie immediately transitions into No Way Home, in which Peter is trying to hide, but his cover is blown and he is on trial for murder. Matt Murdock decides to represent him and seemingly takes care of the legal side. But this doesn't change that everyone knows him now. And so, Pete goes to Doctor Strange for help, where he asks him to make everyone forget that he is Spider-Man. However, as Doctor Strange does this, Pete keeps making requests for people not to include, and completely messes up the spell, causing Doctor Strange to accidentally call everyone who knows a Peter Parker to come to their dimension. And that includes characters from Bully Maguire and Andrew Garfield's universes as well.
What did you say?
And that includes characters from Bully Maguire and Andrew Garfield's a Peter Parker to
say that again.
Dimension. And that includes characters from Bully Maguire and Andrew Garfield's
Bully
universes
Maguire.
as well. They all team up to deal with characters, including but not limited to Sandman, Green Goblin, the Lizard, and Electro. They all fight on the Statue of Liberty and make the shield fall off, which is okay with me. I thought it was stupid anyway. After defeating them, Doctor Strange manages to work on a new spell to make anyone who knows a Peter Parker forget who they are. And I guess that includes the other dimensions too. Sucks for Tobey Maguire's Peter because he was married to Mary Jane by this time. He's gonna go back home to his wife and she's gonna be like, excuse me, who are you? Pete then goes to introduce himself to his friends, but he chickens out and decides to walk away like Bill Bixby in the Incredible Hulk show. Someone please play Lonely Man for this boy. After this, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness takes place, in which Stephen Strange continues to deal with the effects of their multiversal tampering, which leads him to get help from Wong and Wanda Maximoff. This leads him to face off against the Illuminati and for Wanda to discover secrets about the Darkhold and herself that she previously had no idea about. During this time, they met America Chavez. Also, I need to ask you to forgive me, but this is the only Marvel movie I haven't seen yet, and I am super excited to stream it very soon, so please forgive me for not covering this one yet. Please and thank you. And yes, before you ask, I watch the movies out of order sometimes. Why do you think I needed to make this timeline? Hawkeye comes next. It's Christmas time, and a girl named Kate Bishop, who had been saved by Hawkeye during the Battle of New York, is at a gala with her mother and soon-to-be stepfather, Jack Duquesne. While there, she sees her old acquaintance, Armand, and approaches him with Jack. Armand reveals the sword and suit of Ronin, the name Hawkeye took during the blip when his family got snapped. It was actually badass. He became a ninja and everything, which sorta doesn't make sense, because a Ronin is a samurai without a master, not a ninja. But what does it matter? It's awesome. At that time, the Tracksuit Mafia, I know, weird name, bombs the gala and are fought off by Bishop and Jack. At this time, Clint Barton sees Ronin show up on the news, so as you know, he's curious. He tracks her down and reveals who she is, and together they begin a quest to take down the Tracksuit Mafia, as well as Jack Duquesne, who Bishop believes killed her acquaintance Armand. She convinces her mother to turn him into the police, which she does, and he claims he was framed, and he was. They eventually run into Yelena Belova, who wants revenge on Barton, thinking that he killed Natasha Romanoff, but she is defeated and sent packing. Belova was working with Maya Lopez, who wanted revenge on Ronin for killing her father, William Lopez. However, it's later revealed that Kingpin hired Ronin to kill William, and in the end it all hits the fan. Belova learns that it was Eleanor Bishop who hired her and was working for Kingpin, who Jack had framed. Maya then shoots Kingpin. In the end, Clint returns to his home for Christmas with a shield Rolex for Laura and a golden retriever named Lucky. He brings Bishop with him and decides to help her name herself as a superhero. 2025 AD. Moon Knight. So, Poe Dameron got his brother drowned when they were wee babies, and so Poe's mom hates him. He makes an alter ego for himself named Stephen Grant, which is sorta like multiple personality disorder. He normally has good control over it until suddenly he doesn't. He's at a dig site with his friend Raoul Bushman and Abdullah Al-Fuli when Raoul gets greedy and kills them all. Well, he tries to anyway. Poe makes his way into a tomb to kill himself when he hears the Egyptian moon god tell him to become a superhero. So he does. He also goes to Abdullah Al-Fuli's daughter Layla and marries her out of guilt. After this, Poe's abusive mom dies and he feels sad. So sad, in fact, that Stephen Grant shows up to cause trouble. Poe wakes up and just goes home. 2 months later, Grant wakes up in his apartment and heads to his job at the National Art Gallery where his boss sucks. He tries to stay awake, but he falls asleep and wakes up in Austria. He witnesses Arthur Harrow talking to his disciples about Ammit and is judging them by its power. He then says that Poe stole the scarab of Ammit, and Poe falls asleep, causing him to absolutely murder the disciples that attacked him. Later, back at the museum, Poe is confronted by Harrow, who demands the scarab, but Poe runs away. Harrow sends jackals after him, but Poe hides in a restroom where Mark demands Grant give over his body, which he does, causing Mark to transform into the Moon Knight and kill the jackal. Grant is for sure that what happened was real, so he asks JB, the security guard, to show him the footage, which shows Grant running from nothing and leaving without wearing the suit. However, he's still fired. He returns home only to find a key to a storage unit, which he goes to and opens up to find guns, passports, and the scarab of Ammit. Spectre tells Grant to give him control of the body, but Grant decides to take it all to the police. He then witnesses the moon god and runs from it out of fear and is rescued by Spectre's wife, who Grant doesn't know. Harrow then asks Grant to give him the scarab, stating that Ammit judges sins before they're committed and tells him not to trust Khonshu. Grant and Layla are attacked by jackals, and Grant jumps out of the window and transforms into a fancy variation of Moon Knight, but can't defeat the jackals, and so he gives it over to Spectre, who does. However, the moon god isn't happy because Harrow got the scarab, so he demands Spectre to hunt down Harrow or Khonshu threatens Layla's freedom. They travel to Egypt where they do a lot of killing. Spectre wakes up stabbing a guy in the heart and asks Grant if he did that, which he didn't. Khonshu is then called up by the other gods, who dictate that Arthur Harrow isn't doing the things Khonshu is saying he is, and eventually decide to turn Khonshu to stone. They manage to roll the night back to see what the stars looked like on the night that Senfu created the cartonnage that they found in Ammit's sarcophagus. In the end, though, Khonshu is stonified by Osiris, removing the Moon Knight powers from Spectre. They end up going to Ammit's tomb, but Harrow's men are already there. Grant further finds a tomb which turns out to belong to Alexander the Great, and grabs Ammit's Ushabti, which is the key to Harrow's plan to bring back Ammit. However, as Spectre talks to Layla and explains everything to her, Harrow flat out shoots Spectre and kills him. The next acid trip is them in a mental hospital, but is a buffer zone between their death and the afterlife. There, they find out that their hearts aren't balanced and they can't go to the Field of Reeds. Grant also learns that he is the alter ego and not Spectre. Grant then sacrifices himself for Spectre, and Spectre's heart balances, allowing him to go to the Field of Reeds. However, he can't rest because Haro and Amit are killing a lot of people. Layla is then sent by Tauret to revive Khonshu, which she does, who works to bring Spectre back to life. Returning back, Spectre finds Statue Grant and hugs him, bringing him back to life, and the two are then revived by Khonshu. Haro, with Amit's help, kills the Enneads and then breaks Amit's Ushapti, which fully releases her. Layla meets with the dying Ennead Selim, who tells her how to kill Amit. They must bind her to a human body and kill both bodies. Spectre and Grant then make a new deal with Khonshu and decide that if they fulfill this bargain, but binding Amit and Haro, they can go free. Khonshu agrees. Layla is given powers by Tauret, who turns her into the Scarlet Scarab. Together they fight. Khonshu can't beat Amit, and Spectre can't beat Haro. However, Spectre passes out and wakes up having won, knowing Grant didn't do it. They bind Amit to Haro, but Spectre refuses to kill him, knowing he fulfilled his end of the bargain. Khonshu frees them from service. However, when Haro is to leave the mental hospital, Khonshu introduces Haro to his new friend, Jake Lockley, who is revealed to be a third persona of Grant and Spectre, who then kills Haro. The events of She-Hulk then take place. The story revolves around Jennifer Walters, who accidentally gets some of Bruce Banner's blood into her body when they have a car crash involving a Sakaran spacecraft. She masters it quickly, though, and attempts to balance her life, only to find out most people are more interested in her She-Hulk persona, except for her client Emil Blonsky and his self-help group. However, it is revealed that there are a group of haters out there who may or may not steal some of her blood depending on your interpretation of this comedy's strange canon, in which case, fourth wall breaks actually lead you into Marvel Studios to force a rewrite. She also starts a relationship with Daredevil. That, and it is revealed that Banner Hulk now has a son, Scar. So that's cool. Then we experience the Ms. Marvel storyline. Captain Marvel, superfan, and Aisha's great-granddaughter, Kamala Khan meets with Bruno Corelli and Nakia Bahadir at school. Corelli and Kamala think of a plan to ask her strict parents if she could go to New Jersey Avenger Con. Khan is then called into her teacher's office. Her teacher tells her how she needs to start thinking about college. Kamala returns home and finds a package from her grandmother, Sana Ali. The package contains a bangle. Later at dinner, Kamala asks her parents about AvengerCon, but they immediately turn her down. Kamala talks in her room with her brother, Amir, who agrees to talk to her parents. After Amir talked with them, they decided they will let her go. They give Kamala the good news, but on the condition that she goes with her father, Yusuf, and wears a Hulk costume. This angers Kamala, which prompts her disappointed father to say she cannot go after all. That night, Kamala talks to Corelli about how she felt bad. However, she still thought of a plan to sneak out. Meanwhile, Corelli gets her Captain Marvel costume ready for the cosplay competition. He tells her that she needs a bit of herself in the costume to make it stand out. Kamala chooses the bangle. Kamala successfully sneaks out of her house, and the two arrive at AvengerCon, Camp Lehigh. Before the cosplay event, Kamala goes to the restroom to get dressed. However, she forgets her gloves that are made to look like Captain Marvel's photon blasts. She decides to put on her bangle instead. Upon wearing it, she sees a different world. She brushes this off and gets on stage. During her presentation, she gets blinded by the camera flashes, which sets off a blast of hard light energy from the bangle. The energy hits a giant Mjolnir prop, which sends it flying into Kamala's classmate, Zoe Zimmer. Kamala reaches out, and the bangle generates a hard light fist that catches Zimmer. After the commotion, Kamala returns home to see her mother waiting for her. Muniba gives Kamala a talk before leaving. Kamala then sits back in her bed, marveling at her new power. Meanwhile, the United States Department of Damage Control sees the event at AvengerCon. Agent Cleary and Sadie Deaver take on the case. The following day, Zimmer has gained a new following after uploading videos of the new hero. She coins the hero's name as Nightlight, but nobody knows that it was Kamala. After school, Corelli and Kamala test out her powers and train. Kamala is able to walk on her hard light structures. Corelli tests her DNA and finds out that it is different than human DNA. Later that night, Kamala and Corelli go to Zimmer's party that she is holding after her near-death experience. They meet a new student, Cameron, whom Kamala immediately clicks with. They go out on a date the following day. At dinner, Kamala listens to Yusuf tell the story of how Ali followed the stars back to her father. Kamala then has a vision of a woman pointing at her. Meanwhile, Zimmer is brought into the DODC and interrogated by Cleary. Zimmer reveals that Nightlight was Middle Eastern. Cleary sends agents to look at every mosque. During Eid Mubarak, a kid is taking selfies on a window ledge when he falls out of it, hanging by a curtain. Kamala quickly puts on her Captain Marvel costume and walks on her hard light until she is under the boy to catch him. She instructs the boy, Hamid, to step on the structure with her. As they walk to the edge, Kamala gets another vision causing her to lose focus. Hamid falls, but she catches him right before he hits the ground. Kamala then worriedly runs into the alley where she is attacked by Stark Industries combat drones. She runs away from them, but a car shows up. Cameron tells her to get in. She thanks him, but is confused. He introduces Kamala to his mother, Najma. They bring Kamala to safety and explain to her that they are part of the Clandestines, a group that included a few others and her great-grandmother. Najma also explains that Kamala is not human, but of the same species as them. The Clandestines have been trying to get back to their homeworld, the Noor dimension. When Kamala returns home, Muniba tells her that Corelli left her a gift. Kamala opens it and finds an eye mask. Meanwhile, Corelli does more research and finds out that traveling back to the Noor dimension could be dangerous. However, Khan tells Cameron that she will help them despite the cautions. Later, Kamala attends her brother's wedding and has a lot of fun. Suddenly, Najma and the Clandestines arrive, saying they've waited long enough. Cameron tries to warn Kamala, but he's too late. Kamala is chased into the kitchen where she pulls the fire alarm so that people leave. She then blocks their attacks. Salim goes to punch Kamala, but Corelli gets in their way, injuring himself. Cameron gets Kamala and Corelli out, but is thrown off of a balcony. As the two get cornered, Najma touches the bangle, which leads them both to see a vision of a Karachi train coming at them. The DODC arrives and arrests the Clandestines, including Cameron, but Corelli and Kamala escape with the help of Bahadir, who feels betrayed that Kamala didn't tell her about her powers. Kamala returns home and calls her grandmother regarding the bangle. Ali told her that she saw the train too, and Kamala needs to come to Karachi right away. Kamala and Muniba then hop on a plane after Kamala insists that they go. Upon arriving, she finally sees her grandmother after many years and also meets her cousins. After talking for a bit, Kamala goes out into the city where she finds a vigilante who attacks her. The two engage in a fight until the man notices the bangle and asks if she is clandestine. He then brings her to his residence to ask more questions. He introduces himself as Kareem, the Red Dagger, which is a title passed down through many warriors, including his mentor Waleed. Waleed explains to Kamala the Noor dimension.
Yeah, I think it's enough. Like, come on. This is exactly what I'm talking about, not playing. Like, if I'm just gonna sit here, watch YouTube, you know, then I could just turn off the stream. But right now, that doesn't fucking matter. Now I'm going to play some games, which obviously is Call of Duty. Because what else will I fucking play? So here's the thing. I can honestly say I did not very much enjoy Warzone yesterday because of the issues that I had. Now, as far as I know, I don't know if there's any patch, but what there could be is something completely different. There could be maybe, let's say, not patches, but server fixes that doesn't need a patch. So maybe I won't be as, you know, fucked up as it was before. Although before going into the game itself, I'm gonna go and take a look at some certain things. I'm a bit tired, guys. I don't know what I'm talking about really, to be honest. Yeah, it's 14:45 at the moment. Hello? Thought I fucked it up there for a minute. So perfect volume. Perfect volume. Mm-hmm. There we go. Now it's on. So what we are going to do today is just to mainly play Warzone, but I might want to change to something else depending on like how long it takes for me to decide what kind of like shit I want to do. I need to open up this one. Okay, my computer is really lagging right now. That's what I was afraid of. What happened there? Did I click on Spotify? No. You are not the party leader. What the fuck? Norway? And quads. Duos, trios, trios, trios. Why do they move it? Okay, what the fuck has happened with the quality? It looks hideous! For some reason it has changed my fucking settings. What? Okay, let's do that. Let's see what that does. Yeah. I want some higher quality for everything here, so I want to have better quality. Okay, particle can be down. Particle quality level can be low. Bullet impact. That's changed. Shader quality higher. Tessellation all. Because technically, like, I don't know really what tessellation does, to be honest. Terrain memory can be max. Streaming quality, just leave it. Medium. Low. Shadow map. Normal. Hello. Low. Medium. Click on it, you fucking cunt. Click on it! And the quality settings that I cannot do, then I don't care about them. So where is my character? Let's take a look at the operators, see what kind of operators actually are available. I didn't really take a look at all of them. So, female home, male home, female away, male away, Zeus, Stiletto, Axel, Connor, Zero, Rose, Luna, Reyes, Gromsko, Soap, Ghost, Farah, Price, Nova, Cleo, Zemo, Gaz, Orangi, Hutch, Shy, Callista, König, Fender, Courage, Group 1, Rangers 1. Wait, 3 preview? Can I actually, like, you know... No, that's not possible. You cannot go up to the face of the character. You can go down and zoom in on the butt and everything, but nothing more than that. That is so annoying. What if I want to zoom in on the fucking head? That's not possible. That is annoying. And you cannot customize this character. She doesn't have any skins. Oh, it's already done. Nice. We can start now. Now, I might have some lags. But now, since I fixed the issues... Like, I've updated the graphics card a bit. Okay, come on! Warzone? Warzone 2 is not yet released according to YouTube. There's still Warzone 1 here. Warzone 1 and Warzone 2 is 2 complete different games. Warzone 1 doesn't exist anymore. Warzone 2 exists. It's kind of like, oh yeah, you want to play Dota 2? Oh, here is Dota. It's stupid, innit? Why does it feel like my mic is muted? I don't know why, I just got that weird feeling. What's gonna happen in 3 years with Warzone though? Okay, so like 2019 Warzone, 2022 Warzone 2 because a new Modern Warfare game came out. 2026 24, 23, 24, 2025. Is that Warzone 3 then? Because it kind of feels like it's supposed to be Warzone 3, right? Warzone 1 for Modern Warfare 1, Warzone 2 for Modern Warfare 2, Warzone 3 for Modern Warfare 3. It also makes sense that way. Kinda does make sense. Okay, I can't even hide objectives with G. It's like my keyboard doesn't work. The game has crashed. No, but I would have known if it was. If it had. No, it just hadn't loaded in. It just hadn't loaded yet. Sound? Enjoy the game, boys. Now it's loaded in. Ja, men så... Varenda gång de här jävla fucking knapparna! Vad är det för fel på spelet? What do you click to click out of fucking menus? The whole day yesterday and now again. The fuck? Ska du göra något eller? Fucking broken shit game! Lot of info that gives. Good notification. Completely fucking empty. Now we're gonna wait 5 minutes for that load. Wait, so my loaders are completely changed. No. My pages are very low right now. Why does that look so out of focus? Why does she look so out of focus? Her face is completely blurred. What's wrong with the game? Wait, where's this button? Oh my god, the enter button. The jump button is gone. Wait, no! Where's the jump button?
Warm up while you can. We will be going soon. Enemy soldier incoming.
Oh, fuck me.
Preparation is done. Now you deploy to the war zone.
What the fuck? What's wrong with the game? The spacebar still works though. Because obviously it's...
You've got 5 seconds. Good luck down there.
Battle Royale. Avoid the gas. Get to the safe zone. Enemy dropping into
just the
AO.
spacebar. I'm gonna go to the village. I gotta jump there, I think. Or maybe not. Wait, can I actually go there? Is there any other player going to that building? Not now.
Targets are up. Get to work.
Oh, lovely. Oh, yeah, lovely. Lovely. I'm doing 3 headshots. And what does he get?
You're in the gulag. Fight for your chance to redeploy.
Keep up.
In the gulag, I make the rules. Kill to escape. Die and you never leave.
Learn from the loss. Failure is a white teacher.
Always a place for you. You will stay here.
Dude. And every time I do wait for status, all of that, it's just so annoying. Just get me straight to the menu so I can start the next game. Or even better, start the next game from the game itself so you don't have to go to menu all the time. It's annoying and fucking stupid. Yeah, come on. See, it took me a minute and a half, 2 minutes to get back to the menu. Now I have to start searching for the match, which is approximately another 2 minutes. So it's 4 minutes between matches. It should be at maximum 1. My opinion, of course. Shouldn't be that long. Oh wait, yeah, buffs and nerfs for guns. Not that interested, but... M16 has been changed a lot. Rate of fire increase, hip spread reduction, recoil recenter speed increase, shot grouping improvement, increase ADS movement speed, increase strafing movement speed, semi-auto recoil reduction, semi-auto damage reduction. Damage range reduction on the lock with 300. Increase to close range flinch on all shotguns. Close range damage increase, hip spread increase for Bryson 800 as well. Some minor changes. No big ones. Not really, at least.
Check your gear.
Of Righteous Red.
We go soon. Hostiles dropping into the area. Watch the skies. Enemy dropping into the AO. Practice is over. The real fight begins now.
That gun is extremely stupid. Like, okay, sure it wasn't that stupid when I was in the correct environment, but I was just... I don't know, I am rageful today, I don't know why.
5 seconds.
My page is at all-time low today. Like a single shit happening and I'm be like, "Ugh." I'm on the edge today, I don't know why. I'm gonna go straight down. I'm gonna try to get on top of these buildings over here. Whee!
Eliminate all targets in the AO.
Ow! Fucking kids. Jesus, kid!
This is the Gulag. You'll have to fight to earn redeployment.
Blah, 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 blah. What the hell?
Soldiers,
Do
you
it.
failed in life, but I offer you redemption in death. Kill for me here, and I will release you back from where you came. Fail, and your corpses will feed my dogs.
Good job, now you're over the jailer.
So we will settle the score.
What? What about the jailer? Oh, he survived. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The jailer died immediately. Fucking bullshit. When the jailer spawned in, it's already too late. Was he AFK? Hey, bro, you AFK? Wait, is that me? Wait, what? I'm in Rust. Lovely. I thought I lost. Because I died, didn't I? Although, I don't mind. Did I win last time? And I just quit? Did I actually win last time? But I still quit? Because that would have been embarrassing. Okay, there's a building over here. I need to find gun. Now. I am in the center, right? Like, in a circle, right? I need to find, like, a building, like, ASAP.
Gas is moving.
Before a player finds me, I find a player already.
Positive ID on multiple strongholds.
Okay,
Locations
okay,
are
okay,
marked on your
okay.
attack map.
Shut the fuck up. I'm trying to focus. Oh, bloody hell. This is not good.
Hostile dropping into the area.
Anything I can
Watch the
find.
skies.
Shit. Oh, shit. I can... I had to lower his vision. It was worth it. I need to be very careful now. Wait, this is pistol rounds in this? Oh, that's great. Let's be careful now. I want this gun still. Yeah, I'm getting the Lockwood. It's a good gun. It's actually my favorite, to be honest. Ah, that's the tactical. I need to get it. I get the frag, actually. And I can actually change this. Because I think I will... Actually, no. I actually rather do that, and I keep this. I like this more, to be honest. I can stow this grenade there. Just put in another plate. UAV. I can use the UAV now.
Copy that. UAV is on station.
Are you trying to be awful?
UAV is being refueled. RTB at this time.
Gas is moving in. New safe zone located.
Ah, come on! Fuck off, cunt!
We'll come back stronger next time.
The buttons doesn't fucking work. I pick up the ammo. No, I open the fucking backpack. Stop spectating! Like, I can't pick up anything. All the fucking buttons in this game does something else at the same time. I open the cabinet. I click tab to exit out of the cabinet. Opens another menu. I click escape to close out the cabinet. Pauses the game. Open the backpack. No. I pick up ammo. I pick up ammo. No. I open up the backpack. Stupid as fuck. I need to fix their fucking buttons. That's it. Keybinds. Okay. Interact. F. I click F again. Nothing happens. What? Well, everything can be formed to use to perform a ledge hang. Everything. This is so stupid. Like, there's something fucking wrong with this game. Like, of course, there is a lot of wrong with this game. For example, yesterday the server's 1,000 ping. Like, which it did fix pretty quick. But like, there is bigger issues. Buttons. I click F to pick up a gun or ammo. It opens a fucking menu for the backpack. And I know I didn't have... I know I had full in my backpack, but I opened his backpack, and that was the issue. If I opened my backpack, I would have easily been able to click out of it. It's the same button, I know. But like... It is why open up a backpack when I click to open up the fucking ammo. Why did it open up his backpack when I wasn't even near it? This is his backpack. I looked at it like that. And it opened up the backpack because I clicked on this ammo clip. And his backpack was here. I clicked on this and it was like, whoop, backpack. And then what happens? What happens? Stuck in the backpack. Can't click out. I'm dead. Like, fix your fucking game. If I look at an ammo clip, I don't want to open up the backpack that's 2 meters away. It's fucking stupid.
Check weapons and gear. We're holding for deployment. Enemy soldier incoming.
I like it that he says different things. I like the same sentence in different ways.
Gas is approaching your position.
I know where to go.
Move to the safe zone.
I'm gonna go there if possible.
You're clear to engage all targets. Enemy dropping into the AO.
What? Did I click that? No. Fuck off. Okay, that's enough sniper ammo for real, like. I don't need more. I know I'm taking a long time to loot. Or rather take a long time than actually miss something. Stop swapping. For fuck's sake. What?
The fight has begun. Get ready to
No
fight.
sound whatsoever that is nearby. Okay, he's lagging.
You're in the gulag. Fight for your chance to redeploy.
Soldiers, 4 of you are in my arena. The last 2 standing will leave it. Take your best shot and even send someone who will.
The enemy took that one. We will be back to finish the job.
Better die soon, or you all will. Come on. We lose them. Win a second chance. You fail yourselves again.
I lost all the patience of playing this game. Like, I don't want to play this game anymore. It's fucked up. That's what it is. It's fucked up. Like, it was so fun. Normally, it's a good concept, but this is no joke. I'd rather play Fortnite. And that's no joke. I actually rather... Fuck off. fuck off. I actually rather play Fortnite. It's enough. In a strange way, I'm actually not really disappointed, but it's so annoying, this game mode. Like, Warzone is not good. That is what it is. It's not that good, to be honest. It used to be better, actually. Warzone 1 was actually quite good. But then I didn't stream it because I couldn't stream it. I couldn't stream any Modern Warfare at that time. I barely could stream Modern Warfare at that time when I was playing Warzone. For some stupid, weird reasons. And also I took Warzone more like a just spend some time alone thing, like the thing now that Warzone is on Steam is actually kind of stupid. Because that just opens it up to more hackers as well. Like, if you count hackers on, like, Steam, is so high on free games.
Take this time to warm up.
Not that it matters that much, because technically hackers on, like, Steam and shit is, like, not that high. Like, it's not dangerously high. And also on like Call of Duties, like, they have very good, like, anti-cheat systems.
Enough training. Now we face the enemy for real.
Yeah, the latency went up to like 200 here. The servers aren't great. Like, they didn't really work on it that much, I feel. Why does a lot of it feel so weird and blurry? It feels like film grain is up to 100. Plus, also that it's like very shitty looking.
Proceed to the safe zone.
Not gonna lie, like, it's blurry with a lot of film grain, which makes it look so fucking weird.
Hunt the enemy down. Enemy soldier incoming.
Let me fucking loot, you fat cunt! Like, I have to pick up, I drop 2 weapons.
On the ground! The Gulag. You'll have to fight to earn redeployment.
Pick it up automatically.
I make the rules.
That's what it did, actually.
Die, and you never
This is fucked up.
die soon, or you all win. Time to meet my champion. He'll make this interesting.
The question is, where do I go to find weapons? Okay. Sniper, that's fine. No Bryson, thank you very much. It's a lot of ammo for this gun. See if someone's close.
Recon at my location.
Okay, someone's here.
UAV orbiting the AO. Recon is online.
Gas is closing in.
Oh Jesus! What is that?
Targets are marked.
Oh my god, I have to watch that, dude. I have to fucking watch that back, dude. I need to see that shit. I need to see that shit, dude. Come on, today. Oh Jesus, what is that? Oh Jesus, what is that? My god. Dude. I'm not playing any more of this shit. Like, this is ridiculous. What is that flinch? Like, 1 second you're aiming at his head, the other second you're aiming at the fucking bird up in the sky. Like, this is not even good, dude. I can't even say that this is good. Like, this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. There's no way this is good. I was actually planning for playing like a long time today, but that did not go anywhere. Because I'm done streaming today. This is just no. I'm not gonna play anymore. This is ridiculous. Like they really need to fucking fix their fucking issues. Because there is so many issues. Yeah, I'm signing off, guys. I'm just fucking bored out of my mind, dude. Like, I'm not gonna play anymore. Now my computer froze. God, yeah. Want to hear something funny? 20 minutes of this stream is completely gone. 20 minutes of this stream is completely gone. It's ridiculous. Now 50 minutes of this stream is gone. 15 minutes of this stream is completely gone. But yeah, this is it for this stream, guys. I'm not going to play this game anymore. At least not Warzone. I'm going to go back to Modern Warfare 2 tomorrow. Warzone is trash. It's really, really bad. Yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I see you probably maybe day after tomorrow. Actually, you don't. I'm away day after tomorrow. You'll see me probably on Sunday again. I'll be back with Call of Duty. Yeah, thanks for watching. Stay awesome.